A fantastic Sunday evening to you. I'm CBS 19 Weather Authority meteorologist David Reese. A little bit longer form stuff for you tonight, and here's a look at what we're observing right now in terms of sea level pressure in front. So we have that cold front that gave us a little bit of a wintry mix at times up here across the maritime provinces of Canada. Then you have a strong area of high pressure, and that is just pushing down this colder weather. And here it is on the temperature map. You can see that colder air just kind of oozing our direction. We'll continue to do so over the next couple of hours, and that's why we're looking at chilly conditions over the next couple of days as well. Now, here's a little bit more in-depth model data for you. First, we're starting off with the Euro. You can see where all that cold weather is located up there across Canada, and also starting to seep our direction. This is the Euro, just to show you guys what we're looking at here. Notice as long as those blues and purples are over the top of us, we're going to remain on the drier side. This is all the way until the 22nd. That's Wednesday. Notice as we head into Wednesday, that blue starts to go away. Now here's a different look from the GFS. And the GFS has similar conditions over the next couple of days. Notice a lot of cold weather, so that's why we're looking at temperatures in the upper 30s, close to 40 for daytime highs, overnight lows in the teens and 20s. Now, let's go ahead and look up at the 500 millibar forecast. This is where we look at to find those pieces of energy that I talk about. The areas in the brighter colors, those oranges, yellows, reds, indicates more energy, and this is the Euro. We're starting off the Euro here. Over the next couple of days, as we talked about, we have the area of cold weather over the top of us. That's thanks in part to this dip in the jet stream you see here. This area of energy will try to develop into something out here, but then it's going to get kicked out to sea so quickly that it's not going to be an issue for us really at all. Then as we head into the middle of the work week, we're going to have to watch something very carefully out here. What is that? It's this out here across the Intermountain West. You have one piece of energy up through here. You have another piece of energy down through here. This model pretty much brings this energy down in lockstep, phases it with it, and then eventually heads it over the top of us where it just kind of sits and spins. I'm going to let it play out here for you just so you can see the evolution of that. Notice how that area of energy is kind of dived into that southern one. That's what we call phasing. That is basically a perfect time frame for it. And then as we head into the upcoming weekends, that's something. That could be rather entertaining here across parts of the Northeast and also the Ohio River Valley, maybe here in Charlottesville. Okay, that's the Euro. The GFS, however, has something like this. It does not really have that energy. Notice it's back out west, and we're looking at a more consolidated piece of energy in the northern stream here. The southern one is way out here, and as a result, it doesn't really phase, but the northern energy kind of strengthens. And notice how it just kind of pinwheels across the Ohio River Valley, so it's just kind of sitting there. And that is why the area of low pressure is going to be a little bit more to the north. And that's going to be really what we're going to be looking for. So really, as we head into the middle of the work week, the 23rd is what we're going to be looking at here. So Wednesday, Thursday time frame is really going to be key here because, again, I'm going to put the GFS lines here. You have one here and then one kind of way out here strung out. Now, as I put the Euro one on here, notice, yeah, it's a little bit more to the north-south oriented, a little bit easier to read, so that's going to try to do that. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Why does that matter? I'm going to go back to this map here, get you out to closer to the weekend. Notice you have an area of low pressure pretty much here across southern Illinois. Now, as we head into the upcoming weekend, you have another area of low pressure developing here. That's what that diving piece of energy does, and then that allows this area of low pressure to get going, and then you have some cooler weather here on the northwestern side of the system. If you have some followers saying, yeah, woo, look at all that snow, that is the reason why. That's what the European model does. So it's also going to be on the breezier side. And then it just kind of lets it sit there for a little while. Area of low pressure, very slow to move on out. Okay, now what about the GFS? That was the European. This is the GFS for a similar time frame here. Again, there goes the cold Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the milder side. notice with that phasing storm system, the area of low pressure north of St. Louis, remember the Euro had it south, or pretty much right over the top of Paducah. So that's something, again, that we'll watch for later this week, and it doesn't really develop that secondary low. It has it up over the top of Lake Erie. May try to develop another one right over the top of us, but notice you have that kind of double barrel low. So here's one low, here's another one. So that's something that we'll watch for over the next couple of days, and that could be a more significant system for interior sections of the Northeast up here. But here locally, we just look to kind of return to cooler conditions as we head into early next week. Now, looking longer term, that's really about it. So this weekend, it's one to watch Friday night and during the day on Saturday, and those are kind of the reasons why it's going to be one to watch. And of course, the CBS 19 Weather Authority team will keep you guys up to date. But I just want to give you guys a heads up, a little bit more in-depth look at kind of what we're looking at of the two pieces of energy out west, especially Wednesday into Thursday, and how those will play out between now and then will kind of have big impacts on our forecast later this work week and into the next weekend. So yeah, I mean, we're in the later stages of January. Things like that do happen. It's certainly something that we will continue to watch for. Ensembles really aren't super impressed by it, so that's a combination of all the kind of different computer models, different iterations, and kind of throws out something similar to that. And the ensembles really aren't supportive of it a great deal, but I just want to let you guys know, if you see stuff on social media saying, whoa, look at this, yeah, we're aware of it, but that's a little bit of more behind the scenes as to what we're looking at over the next couple of days. So you guys have a good Sunday, and I'll see you guys later tonight and during the work week.